Hi guys, welcome to this update video. I trust and hope you're doing really great this morning. We're going to be talking about Tropical Storm Erin. So Erin formed yesterday and it is expected to eventually become a major hurricane. Now, one of the biggest questions is, where will Erin go? Nothing is set in stone, but there has been a noticeable change over the past day, which is in terms of the model track guidance. There has been a bit of a southern shift in the forecast tracks for Erin. So we're going to be talking about that in today's update video. Let's get into it. Okay, so here we look at Erin at a closer view on infrared satellites, and notice that we're not really seeing much associated with it right now. So as I even mentioned yesterday, if you saw that update video, the system would struggle a bit because it is in a region of a whole lot of dry air. So that is clearly impacting it right now. Not seeing a whole lot of showers and thunderstorms associated. However, strengthening is expected to begin soon, especially as it will be moving into a more conducive environment. And this is the latest track for the system. So Erin is still sustaining those maximum winds at around 45 miles per hour. And it is moving west at that quick 22 mile per hour pace. So as we're going to be heading into tomorrow night, thereabout, the system is expected to become a hurricane, and by this weekend, a major hurricane. And as I also mentioned yesterday, the cone widens with time because uncertainty increases the further out we go. So the center of the system, and the cone is to track the center, that's an important thing to note. So if the center moves a bit closer to land, that could bring impacts for parts of the northeastern Caribbean. If it stays well offshore, then there may not be any direct impacts. And as I speak about that, let's move on to the model track guidance. So let's compare yesterday with today. So this was yesterday evening. This is this morning. We can see a bit of a noticeable shift with some of our the models that they are taking the system a little bit closer to land. And as I said, these are to track the center of the system. So even if the center should stay offshore, by this time, by the end of this week, the system is expected to be a major hurricane. So if it is a very large hurricane, even though the center will be offshore, then there is a chance that some of the islands may experience impacts close to the eye wall or within the eye wall of the system. So that is going to be a possibility. And our biggest steering mechanism is that Bermuda high. So if it takes a bit longer to weaken, the system is going to be moving closer to land. But if that happens a bit sooner, then the curve of Erin will take place sooner, thus sparing land from the worst of impacts. But this is also something that I've consistently highlighted, that, hey, it's the weather that we're talking about. So there are bound to be changes, and that's exactly what we're seeing now. So this is the importance of keeping track of the system as time goes by. So as we head into the next few days, we'll have a much clearer picture of what will happen. But even if the system is close enough to the northeastern Caribbean, there could be direct impacts. There could be a lot of heavy rain. There could be storm surge. There could be those gusty winds as well. So it depends on the closeness or the proximity to land. And that is why my channel is here to keep you posted as time goes by. So areas to keep watch: the Northern Leeward Islands, possibly the Virgin Islands as well, and definitely the island of Bermuda, which can be an easy hit or miss for the system. As it relates to the intensity of Erin, we can see here that pretty much no major change with that. Models still expecting that it will gradually strengthen over the coming days, eventually becoming a major hurricane. But in terms of all that dry air, here is a look at that latest graphic. So we can see Erin in there, surrounded by a lot of dry air, especially ahead of it. So that is the reason it is not really producing much activity right now. But as conditions get more conducive, as it encounters warmer waters, it will intensify over the coming days. So in terms of the key messages from the National Hurricane Center, a simple paragraph here stating that it is still too early to determine what impacts, if any, Erin may bring to the Northern Leeward Islands, Bermuda, or the east coast of the United States. As we approach the climatological peak of the hurricane season, this is an opportune time to ensure your preparedness plans are in place. So we're approaching the peak of the hurricane season, so the NHC is basically saying that, hey, down the road, we're not sure exactly what's going to happen just yet, but seeing that the peak of the season is approaching, now is the time to ensure that you have your plans in place. So definitely something that we all should be doing, because yes, there's Erin out there, but surely we'll have other systems to talk about maybe by the end of the month or going into September. So guys, that's why my channel is also here to keep you posted on all that is happening. And that is pretty much what I wanted to bring to your attention in today's update video. So I do hope you found it to be informative, but if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. I'll get to you when I can, and remember to always be weatherwise.